Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be really fun because the day that I put this video up will be St. Patrick's Day. I am filming it on the Thursday before St. Patrick's Day. But St. Patrick's Day was always kind of one of my favorite holidays in terms of getting to dress up in all of the green and go out hanging out with your friends and drinking. And for the past 4 years of my life, I've had to work on St. Patrick's Day. I worked in a bar. I couldn't get out of it. There was no way. So finally this year I am not working. Mind you, I'm not going out either because it is a little crazy up here on St. Patrick's Day. But I thought it would be a lot of fun to kind of do a St. Patrick's Day inspired look, something that maybe you guys could play around with what you have. And this is the look that I have pretty much used consistently for like the last 3 or 4 years, using virtually the same colors, the same technique. It has gotten a little better over the years as I've gotten better with makeup, but I thought that would be fun because I always mean to put up like, oh, here's this beautiful New Year's Eve look, here's a really fun Christmas look, that kind of stuff, and it always seems to escape me. I kind of like get to that day and I'm like, oh shoot, I should have done that, and I never do. I was actually kind of on the ball right now, so I thought that I would film that for you guys today. So we're going to be playing with a lot of greens and golds, you know, that very much screams to me St. Patrick's Day. Also popping in a little bit of orange in a lip and kind of a more coral color for blush, just to sort of add in that bit of orange on the Irish flag. So I'm going to get started. For a eye primer today, I'm going to be using my MAC paint pot. This is the one in soft ochre, just because we are kind of going with a lot more green tones, which kind of have a little bit more yellow in them than pink for sure. If we were doing blues, I might have done painterly because, you know, even though there is, so there's yellow in green, obviously, the way that the colors work, and then blue and pink kind of sort of go together. I don't know why that is, that I think that in my head, but just the way it is. So yeah, we're going to start with this anyway. And then really quickly, just as a start, I am going to take, sorry, I'm just getting my color switch open right now. I am going to take some of this color. This is MAC Shroom. It's just a very, very, it is a satin finish. It's got a little itty little bit of luster in it. And it's just very, very like same color as my skin. It'll just give it a little bit of shine just to sort of set that paint pot and give me a building point for the rest of my shadows. I was going to say 90% of the shadows I'm using today are MAC, but they all are, if I'm completely honest. Those are the ones that I've used every year and the ones that I trust, the ones I know how to work with the best for this particular look. So I'm just going to stick with it and not really change up too much from that. But in the future, I definitely will be putting stuff up. So I'm now just going into my Patrick Star Goal Getter Quad. Now this color that I'm using is not special edition, limited edition. I just got rid of my single in my declutter series. So I'm going for this color here. This is soft brown. It is one of, if not my favorite color from MAC. It is like the perfect transition crease color. It is absolutely gorgeous. And just a little tap, I don't know if you guys can see that my brush is kind of dirty, is really, really pigmented. So what I'm going to do is take this color and just sort of sweep it up and into my crease. Now, like I said, this look is going to be mostly greens, but I do want to give like a little bit of a smoked effect to the crease, and I don't like to do that with too many greens, so I'm just going to add a bit of this as kind of like a base building point, and the greens will blend into it beautifully. I've been doing it, like I said, so basically, back when I started wearing makeup really, really seriously, and I think I've talked about this a lot, I went to MAC, and I happened to be there on was it on St. Patrick's Day? It might have been that I went on St. Patrick's Day looking for a green shadow or something of the like, and one of the girls kind of was like, oh, well, that sounds like fun. Do you want me to just do your makeup? And this is more or less what she did. It's changed a little bit since that first year, if I'm completely honest, but this is more or less what she did with me, and I've kind of stuck with it and sort of evolved it and gotten better at it over the years, but this is why I sort of just stick to this one. So the next color is aptly named for St. Patrick's Day. This is in Lucky Green. It is a Veluxe Pearl finish. It is absolutely gorgeous, one of my favorite green shadows. So for that, I am going to take it and start sort of building it up in that crease. Now this is not going to go as high in the crease as the last one did. This brush is super dirty. I should have cleaned it, but that's okay. It's too late now. That's why it looks a little bit more muddy, because the brush wasn't clean when I started doing this, and it should have been. Let me see if I can do what I'm thinking of doing with this brush instead. Kind of. There we go. So I am actually also putting this all over my like outer area of my lid. Now the inner part I am more leaving for the gold that I'm going to be adding into this. But I do want this to be a predominantly very, very, very green eye. That to me is the, you know, that's the staple color of St. Patrick's Day. All the shamrocks are in it. You dye your beer green, which by the way, tip, if you've never done it before, I know that it looks cool. I know you guys are all about it. I used to be too. If the bar asks you if you want your beard dyed green, say no. The reason I'm telling you this is because A, the food coloring gets everywhere. If it gets on your clothes, if it gets on your hands, it will stain. And B, I don't know if you've ever tasted food coloring on its own. It doesn't taste very good. So it actually changes the taste of the beer, and they have to put a fair bit of it in to get it to go as green as they do. It can really upset your stomach as well. And if you're planning on, you know, drinking pretty heavily throughout the night, even if you do it for your first beer, fine, whatever, but I wouldn't recommend doing it all night. That's just my little spiel, my experience about that. So I hope you guys can see how green my eyes are getting. I'm sorry that the lighting's not amazing. I am filming this not late at night, it's about 8 o'clock, but I mean, having said that, that means that the sun is gone, so I'm relying purely, let's see if that helps at all. Not really. I'm relying purely on artificial light. Bear with me, I'm really sorry about that. Next color I'm going to go into my Matte Girls Rockin' Rebel palette. Another side note, they just released 3 new ones. Something like Risk Taker, Cute, Sweet and Cute or something. And then there's another one, I don't remember off the top of my head. Something like a Believer, I don't know. But there's 3 new ones, so go check those out if you really liked these ones and you're looking for more. Definitely go check them out. They are really, really pretty. I don't have them yet. They just launched today. So I'm just going to take this color here, this green color. It is in the shade Rockin' Rebel. That is what the palette is named for. It's just this beautiful, beautiful green. And I am going to sweep that all up in the crease as well. Like that. Not covering all of that lighter green, like I'm not going quite all the way in as I did with the last one, but just enough to add a little bit more depth to that crease and that color. Just like that. So then the next color we're going to go in with is the darkest one. This is another frost finish. This is Humid. This is another beautiful, beautiful green. And I'm just going to take this and kind of put it on the outer corner of my eye and just a little bit up into that crease just to deepen up the outer corner. And this color is also the color we're going to use to smoke out the lower lash line and make it super, super dark and smoky, because I just think that looks really, really pretty. So that's most of the greens going on that we're going to be doing. For a gold shadow today, I'm going to be using Gorgeous Gold. This is another MAC one. This is a Veluxe Pearl as well. I am going to take a little bit more of a firmer brush. This one's not crazy firm, but it's definitely more than the fluffy ones I've been using. And I'm just going to, kind of starting from the inner corner, press it in till about the center. Just add a little bit of gold to that, a little bit of shine. If you wanted, and I actually might do this as well, just to add a little bit more, not too much. I don't want it to be crazy overwhelming. But if you wanted as well, you could take a big fluffy brush, get some of that gold on there, definitely tap it off and kind of use that as a under the brow highlighting color to sort of blend that brown up into where your brow is, just for a little bit of something extra. Like that. And I think that looks really pretty, and it has a little bit of a shine to it, which is really, really nice, but it doesn't take away from a lot of the work that we've already done with all the greens. Now, normally when I honestly do this look, I do use a little bit of green eyeliner, but over the years I found that it doesn't actually do that much more than a black one, and I would prefer a black liner because I do, for personal preference, like to have my eyes lined really pretty. But if you were looking for a green, this one, it is a MAC Forever Green, is beautiful. I'll just put a little bit here. It's kind of like that. It's got a little shimmer. It's more of like an olive tone green. Absolutely stunning. And these, like, come on so really nicely. You could definitely use this to do your under eye as well. But like I said, I'm just going to stick to the Humid that I already have, which is that dark green. So I'm going to put on some eyeliner. This is my Stila Stay All Day waterproof liner. It has fast and very quick become my absolute favorite. I don't even know how I would live without this liner. And I don't want it to be too thick of a line or anything crazy like that. At least I'm trying not to make it too thick. Oh, although I just screwed it up a little bit. And the reason for that is because I want a lot of those greens and those golds and those transition colors to still show up and be the main focus. This is just kind of to define it a little bit. So like I said, just a really, really thin line. If I could have gotten it thinner, I would have tried, but we all know that I'm kind of a disaster when it comes to eyeliner. And if you don't have these exact colors, just play around with what's in your collection. Try and find, you know, a bright neon green, a dark smoky green, those kind of things, and blend them together and see what kind of looks you can create. I mean, if you have these shadows, by all means, go for it. But if you don't, like, play around with what's in your own collection. This is just sort of how I do St. Patrick's Day. So that is, for the most part, the eye done. I like it to be super, super green, super bold. What I am going to do, as I said prior, if I can find my pencil brush, here it is right here, is go back into that Humid color. And it is really dark, so if you don't like your under eye looking dark, then maybe skip this. And smoke it all the way to about 3/4 of the way in. Like that. I'm hoping you guys can see this. Sorry, I'm doing it more into my mirror. Sometimes I'm not the most aware person when it comes to doing my makeup on here. And that's just because I'm not used to doing it. I don't do it all the time. So like I said, it does smoke it out quite a bit, but that's kind of what I like. I think it's a little sexy, a little sultry. You could definitely tidy some of that up, blend it out a little bit more if it made you feel like it was too much. And then I'm going to go back in with that gold color and sort of re-add, if I can find it, and sort of re-add it to the corner. And then I'm going to drag some of that underneath here towards the center. Just like that. So for the most part, we're calling that done. Another thing that I am going to do, and this is obviously a step that you could skip, is I have a MAC Extra Dimension, in Extra Dimension Lash. This is in the color Spin and Twist, I think, and it is a green mascara. Of course, you can do this with normal black mascara. I just thought that this would be pretty fun to do. Now, having said it's green, you can see how green it is on the wand, but honestly, on your actual lashes, because it's so dark of a green, it's not super obvious that it's green, but if anyone were looking real close, they could probably see a green tint. I just kind of like to stick with the theme I'm going for. Let's see, I'll get really close. Can you guys tell? No, probably not. I can barely even tell, and I'm looking right at it. At this point, too, if you had some glitter or something you wanted to add, you could definitely add that. I tend to stay away from, you guys have seen what happens when I put glitter on. Goes everywhere. And again, this is the night that if you want to do it, but I actually don't have any green glitter. I do have gold, but my whole point of adding that is I find it does take a lot away from the green I already have going, which is my focal color. So gold is more of an accent color in my eye. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm just going to stick to what I have. But like I said, if you are a glittery kind of gal, definitely this is the time to add glitter. In terms of a highlight, what I thought I would go for today is kind of stick with that golden theme, and I would go for a gold highlight. This is MAC's Whisper of Gilt. It came out in their holiday collection. Again, you could definitely sub this out for plenty of other highlights. I have some beautiful, beautiful ColourPop highlights that would look absolutely stunning that are gold. I also have got some other MAC ones that are absolutely beautiful, but this is just the first one that I grabbed to do this with. So as per usual, I like to do it down the nose. This one is super shiny in my Cupid's bow, and of course up my cheekbones as well. And if this at the point too where you want more gold, definitely add a little into the inner corners and maybe underneath your brow bone. Give yourself a little, or yeah, just brow bone, and give yourself an extra little bit of shine. For a lip, oh, no, let's do blush first. So for blush, I'm going to use this MAC Mineralize one. This is in Ray Beam. It is pretty pinky, but it's got a little bit of like a orangey kind of undertone. So just add a little bit of that. Keep with that kind of coral orangey theme. As far as lipstick goes, I did pull out a few because I wasn't 100% sure which one I was thinking of going for, and I've got a couple more in my stash. They are mostly MAC. So one that I was thinking about, I have this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. This is in the color Coral Corruption. It's kind of like more orangey. If you were looking to go really, really, really orange, you could definitely try out MAC's Morange. That's this color right here. It is like a true, true orange. I am not going to go for that color today. It's a little too orange for what I'm looking for. I also have this MAC Retro Matte. Is that what they're called? Yep, Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color. This one is in Rich and Restless. This is actually the first one I ever got. It is my favorite for sure. And then there's also a ton of MAC lipsticks that are in this kind of coral color. This particular one is Vegas Volt. It is a creme sheen, but they also have Crosswires. No, this is a creme sheen. It's amplified. Crosswires is a creme sheen or a cream sheen or however you pronounce it, and it's a very similar color, as well as Costa Blanc, I think, is a Costa Chic, not Costa Blanc. I don't know where that came from. Costa Blanca, Casablanca. Maybe that's where I got that from, but Costa Chic is the same color, but in a frost finish. And I'm going to pair this today because I'm going to go with Vegas Volt. I'm going to pair this with this Pro Longwear lip liner. This is in Voltage. And I like using lip liner to extend the layer. I should have sharpened this before I did that, but that's okay. What I find that it helps do is it helps extend the life. Sorry, it's hard to talk and do this at the same of your lip color underneath, particularly if you are using a normal like stick lipstick. If you're using a liquid lipstick, of course, it would last a ton longer. But in this case, since I'm just using this and I color my whole lip in. This on its own is actually really pretty too, but that way if your lipstick starts to wear at all, especially if you're like me and you maybe work and you're going to be out a lot or you're going to be drinking a lot, you're out partying a lot for St. Patrick's Day, that's kind of what the whole holiday has become, is just a night of drinking. It'll just help it last, and even as it does wear away, you won't notice it quite as much because you've got that full coverage color underneath, whereas if it did start to wear, particularly in the middle where you're drinking, you would end up with that funky looking line around your lips, and that's never really a good look. Super, super bright. Now, something I did notice that I'm not quite happy with, and I am going to fix it, is that my under eyes now are so dark. I think I need to add a little bit more of that Humid color to my upper one just to kind of round them out and like make them all come together. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of that on the outer crease and bring it downward. That way it kind of connects. But other than that, I'm going to call this pretty much done. I know this was a super quick tutorial video because I didn't do my full face or anything like that, but this is just sort of something I wanted to show you guys because I don't feel like I put up enough tutorials. I know I definitely haven't been putting up enough videos lately, and I apologize for that. I'm trying to get better at it. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun doing this. Definitely try it out. If you do a video of it, send me a link down below. Send me pictures, whatever you guys can do. I would love to see what you guys come up with for St. Patrick's Day. If you like these kind of videos and want me to do more holidays or more like color inspired looks or anything like that, please feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see. I am all about trying to make you guys happy and trying to put up content that you guys are interested in, as well as content that I'm interested in. So that's going to be it. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it, and I will catch you guys next time. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Bye.